Hello, Jody. How are you?
Hi, Hunter. I'm good. I'm so excited to be here with you.
I'm so excited to have you. And hello, listener. I am super excited to have Jody in the house today.
My name is Jodie Brown, and I was actually a hairstylist for 15 years, daughter of a hairstylist and salon owner. And now I do full-time marketing, content creation, and education.
Jody helps me with my marketing and my social media and things like that. And she'll be like prompting me and asking me the questions that you may have on your mind. So, Jody, thank you so much for being here to do that with me today.
Okay, Hunter, we are going to talk about how hairstylists can, and I'm using quotations, justify their pricing.
Okay.
I feel like there's a lot of conversation, especially like I see this a lot about how things are so expensive and like I can't raise my prices. Like, how am I supposed to justify this to my clients? I feel like there's a lot of guilt
Yeah.
potentially when it comes to price increases, during times when things are a little bit weird.
Right.
And so I think that this is something we can really break down because, you said earlier that things probably just get weirder. So,
Yeah.
we need to figure out a way to be able to like sustain running businesses that are profitable.
Mm.
And, if price increases are necessary, like how stylists can feel better about that and then also communicate it to their clients in a way that is understandable.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
There's so many ways I could go with this conversation.
So, just what are your thoughts when I say the term like justify pricing for hairstylists?
The first thing that comes to my mind is that like you don't have to like verbally justify shit to your clients. Like there's nothing you have to tell your clients to justify your prices. At least in the first and foremost. Like I do believe that there is a certain point where like if you are getting like consistent pushback from a singular person, that at a certain point you do have to tell your side of the story because nothing else has worked. But at the end of the day, like what justifies your price increase is just the performance of your business.
Right.
It's the numbers at the end of the day. And that could either be, there's two types of price increases. It's one is cost of goods increase, and then the other is an actual increase in your revenue increase. And one is like a cute little $5 to $10 a year. The other one is more than that and is probably going to lose you clients. The other one is probably not going to lose you any clients unless you have like a more weekly clientele who doesn't have a great budget to work with.
Right.
So my thoughts are, it's just like to justify it yourself, it's the numbers, it's the performance of your business. To justify it to your clients, I kind of have like I have like many theories and philosophies for how you go about that, I guess.
Okay. Yeah, I think the first thing that I think it's important that we dig into a little bit is why do you think it's so hard for stylists specifically? Because a lot of other industries are just like shamelessly changing prices. Nobody's getting told. Like, why do you think it's, and not that I'm advocating for that or anything like that, but like, why do you think it is so hard for hairstylists to talk about pricing? And why do you think it's such a touchy subject?
Yeah, and I'm glad that you said that because it's oftentimes the narrative that a lot of people will use or bring up is like, well, all these people don't tell people about their
Yes.
price increases, or they just raise their prices willy-nilly. Why can't we?
For sure.
Right. The difference is that like the grocery store isn't a face.
For sure.
The grocery store doesn't have a relationship with you. The grocery store doesn't know your children's names. Like the grocery store didn't hear about your mom and her journey through cancer. Like those industries, those establishments don't have a relationship with their customers the same way that you as a personal human being have a relationship with your customer.
Right.
Your customers tell you more and even see you more than the majority of their family.
Right.
Like that is what the fucking difference is.
Yeah.
And we can talk about how like, we should look at our business as a business and we should take notes from other businesses outside of our industry to figure out how we can make ours most successful.
Right.
But at the same time, we have nuances that make it a little bit more sensitive. Yes, that's the case here, is that you have a relationship with these people. You're also impacting these people in such a personal way.
Right.
It's not just the relationship that you're creating with them every single time they come to the salon. It's like you are changing somebody's physicality.
For sure.
That is crazy. Like
Yeah.
people are walking around with a body part basically that you are altering, and it directly changes their perception of themselves and the perception of everybody around them, every single place that they go. Like, that is a big deal.
It is a huge deal. Really
And
is.
so of course you're going to be fucking nervous to tell somebody that they have to pay you more money, because the majority of your relationship, which I actually don't think should be the case all the time, the majority of your relationship is that when you come, you guys aren't talking as much about hair as you are talking about each other and your lives. And it feels weird to have to tell somebody that they're going to pay you more when you have such a human experience with them.
Right.
And that's just natural. I mean, every human being is going to go through that. And then you don't have a company CEO or representative or a salon owner or a receptionist who is doing that work for you of rolling that out. It's you. And one-to-one confrontation, telling somebody something that is just inherently scary, is terrible. It's fucking sucks. And that's why I oftentimes will say there's no shame, and I'm sure other educators will disagree with me, but there's no shame in non-confrontationally like rolling out a change or a difficult conversation. Like there's nothing wrong with you like emailing or texting to be able to get your point across, as long as you are individually speaking to that person. Because otherwise, like, let's say the example of like somebody putting like their sign out on their station saying prices will increase in X, Y, and Z, right? You don't know if that person saw that or noticed that at all. But if you send somebody an email, if you send somebody a text, right? Like, you know that that person at least had the chance to read it and you directly communicated with them. Right. But yeah, like personal, I think non-confrontationally sharing something like that with somebody, there's nothing wrong with it, because you can say things exactly how you want to say it. You won't back out of your decision, because a lot of times the fear is real and you just won't follow through with it sometimes. Like, we're only human beings, and you have enough to think and worry about in your personal life and while you're working behind the chair doing hair, that I think that a nerve-wracking conversation such as that can be done in a non-confrontational way that still gets the point across, that is done very well, that still, in the way that I teach my students, that still has like a personalized aspect to it as well too.
So,
but yeah,
how do you coach, stylists through the guilt, for lack of a better word, when it comes to the price increase? Like, I think that makes sense as to why, we feel the way that we feel about it. Like, there is a personal relationship, but how do you get past that in order to run the business that you need to run?
Yeah. Number one, I mean, there's so many things. Number one is, do you want your clients to be upset about paying $5 to $10 more, or do you want your clients to be upset that you have to close your business because you can't afford to run your business anymore? Because that's what you're choosing.
1000%.
Like, you're choosing either going through the discomfort of clients maybe possibly being upset about your increase versus you just not having a business at all.
Right.
So that's number motherfucking one, because you need to be able to afford your business, you also need to be able to afford giving your clients a great client experience. That costs money.
Right.
It costs money to have amenities in your space. It costs time. So it's in benefit to the client. It's in benefit to the client for you to do this price increase. I share this story a fair bit. I, as a consumer, have had an experience where I would get my nails done with Jalissa every 2 weeks. She was my salon suite neighbor, and she blew up very quickly alongside me. And she was very, very booked and busy. And I am somebody who travels a lot. I am somebody who was on camera a lot, is on camera a lot. And I liked my nails to be did very consistently. Right. And I was pissed because I would pay Jalissa double.
Right.
To be able to get in with her whenever the hell I want to get in with her.
Right.
But she has a bunch of clients who are stingy with her and would not pay double or not pay nearly as much as I'm willing to pay to get an appointment with her. Right. So now I, as a consumer who is a very ideal consumer, right? Like, I'm an ideal client as hell because I'm willing to spend the money. I get cool shit with my nails. I get along with her very well, obviously. I refer people to her, et cetera, et cetera. I'm pissed because I can't get an appointment with you because you won't raise your prices. Right. And make room for me,
right?
The person who should be prioritized, right? So you're making an inconvenient schedule for clients. If the numbers make sense and you're listening to somebody like me who will go through the numbers with you, you know, like in my program, like you absolutely have the opportunity to like get on a one-to-one with me, share with me the facts quickly, and then I will share with you like if I think you're ready for a price increase or not, and I'll tell you what that price increase could look like safely. Like what I do is people will come on, they'll give me the facts, we'll look at their numbers, we'll write out like what the price increase would look like if we increased by X across their service menu, and then I'll give them options. I'll say, if you don't want any fallout from clients, then this is how much you could raise. If you want to lose a little bit of clientele but make a little bit more money, then this is what you could do. If you want a big difference, you want to make a big difference in your revenue, and you want to lose a fair bit of clients, but you'll still be okay, this is what you could do, right? So it's that personalized advice that I give in my program that I think people find to be very valuable, because pricing is not a one-size-all conversation at all. But as long as you like are listening to somebody who knows what they're talking about, has had a lot of experience with seeing price increases pan out and things like that, and the numbers support you being able to sustain that increase, you will be fine. Like the numbers say you are okay. And facts are always going to be more important than feelings, right? Now, with all that being said, and I could keep going, like there's a million points that I could say to this. With all that being said, nothing is going to make you feel better about this. Like literally, you are going to be terrified up until the point that you do it. And that's just what you're signing up for as a business owner. You know, it's just what you're signing up for with this type of change and the nature of what you have to do in your business to stay afloat and to reap the benefits of what you've worked so fucking hard for. That's another point of this, is like, you have worked so hard to deserve a price increase. Like your family deserves you making more money and being able to provide for them more. You inherently as a human being deserve to reap the benefits of the hard work that you put in and the amazing service that you give to your clients. There's a reason why you're in a position to have a price increase, and it's because you take care of your clients very well. You deserve to be compensated for that. But nonetheless, no matter if you deserve it and you believe you deserve it, no matter if the numbers all say that you're going to be safe and okay, no matter what the fuck I tell you right now on this episode, you will be terrified. And you can either deal with the discomfort of not increasing your prices and being resentful, possibly not making more money, the money that you deserve, being slammed with clients and not knowing where to put them, maybe not even being able to afford your business anymore, right? You can deal with that discomfort, which is permanent and much more detrimental, versus the temporary discomfort of rolling out the increase and then it's over. We talk about this in the other episodes that we recorded. Choose your hard. It's hard either way. It's hard to not raise your prices. It's also hard to raise your prices. One is temporary and one is not. So which one are you going to choose? And the fear is not going to go away, so you have to do it anyway.
Ooh, that is so true. That's the case with so many things when it comes to business. So with that being said, then, when it comes to actually rolling out price increases and it comes to let's say it's significant, are there any tips that you would give a stylist on how they can communicate the value? Because at the end of the day, that's the difference, right? It's if something is like valuable, but the price is higher, that's not a problem. It's if people perceive it to be overpriced, then that can be an issue in terms of attracting new clients. So how do you communicate that value?
It depends on the circumstance. So in the circumstance in which you are going to do a significant price increase, you've already proven your value, because there's a reason you deserve the price increase. Right? You're already offering a valuable experience. So so a lot of stylists will feel like they have to do something new or different or add something, when in reality, let's say that you're doing a price increase email, just remind somebody of what you already offer. So for example, like let's say that you're about to start offering pumpkin spice, scalp massages optionally because it's fall time. Right? That can be something that you add as a value, little thing in your price increase email. Like it can be as simple as that, or just reminding somebody of the personalized next level experience that you give them and being like, hey, did you know that you could change out the essential oil scent that you have every time you come to see me? Whatever it may be, right? Just reminding people of the value that you already offer them in those cute little value add ways, I think is cool. But going back to like the fact that like you don't even have to do that. Like you don't have to justify your price increase because you already have. Like there's a reason you deserve that price increase. It's because you are in high demand. Your clients come back to see you. So honestly, like you could just say, hey, y'all, we have changes to my menu that are going to be in effect on this date. Just wanted to let you know. Let me know if you have any questions about that. Peace out, Girl Scout.
that.
And I have actually like real verbiage for price increases in the hairstylist template vault and within my programs as well too, for like what would you say in an email. But you don't have to add anything new. Just remind somebody of what you're already doing, and there's a reason why you deserve a price increase.
Do you see any like price increase mistakes or like absolutely
Yes.
not when it comes to increasing?
Yes. Okay. So many. First thing, and this is kind of like, it's kind of like if you do this, okay, whatever. But I would just say don't do it. Is like posting on social media, and I know that you agree with me.
I do.
Posting a price increase announcement on social media is just like it's just not doing you any favors. You know, it's not doing you any favors. You're not guaranteed that, especially if it's your only way that you're going to announce it. Like, absolutely not. That is not the tea. We have to send an email. I don't give a shit. We're sending an email, period. Or we are somehow telling every single client every single time. Okay. That just needs to happen. All right. An email, I think, is the best way about going about it.
Right.
But if you're posting on social media, you're not guaranteed that everybody's going to see it. New clients are going to go on there and it's going to waste their time and space. You're wasting time and space and value in the algorithm because that type of post sometimes it's not going to do very well. So that's going to lower you in your ranking. Price increase is an internal thing. It's not an external thing. And your marketing is an external thing. If you're doing a substantial increase in which you know you're going to lose people, or even maybe you're just scared and it's like $5 and you're scared that you're going to lose people,
Right.
either way, do not in your verbiage or in the copy that you put into your price increase announcement, don't assume people are going to leave you. Like in the way that you share this thing with people, don't frame it as a negative thing. Somebody is going to match your energy a lot of the time in the way that you share something. So if you are professional, positive, and same old day to day, very matter of fact, right? Then somebody is going to commonly meet you with that same energy, right? But if you say, I'm really sorry, like I have to do this because the cost of goods have gone up so much and I just like can't afford things anymore, blah, blah, blah. I'm so sorry. I know that this isn't good news. Unfortunately, I have to do this, right? Your client's going to think it's unfortunate too. Shit. You know, if somebody's talking to me like that, I'm going to be in like a negative headspace as well and think about all of my cost of goods going up and how my rent has gone up this past year, you know? So, and then furthermore, people will say like, I know I'm going to lose people. I'm happy to give people recommendations to go elsewhere. So people will just automatically say, I'm happy to give you recommendations to go elsewhere because if this price isn't comfortable for you, it's like, bitch, don't assume that they are going to want that at all. Don't even put that in their head.
No.
Just put out the price increase and then deal with the fallout from there, you know? And if you need to have conversations or justify your price increase with your own side of the story, that's last resort.
Right.
Then after that, it's like, don't come to see me anymore.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If somebody, first off, you share with somebody like, this is the price increase, matter of fact, let me know if you have any questions. Somebody gives you pushback, just share, I'm doing this because of rules of supply and demand and to be able to continue to give you a great client experience. You know, that's it. If they're not into that, then you say, well, like this is what the numbers look like in my business. Cost of goods have gone up. Then you can explain your side of the story, but it's last resort. If they're not on board with that, then say, totally understand where you're coming from, Susie. I know that this price increase may not be feasible for you and I absolutely love getting to see you and do your hair. But unfortunately, I can't have double standards for my clients. It wouldn't be fair to charge you this and charge another person more. So I would be happy to offer you recommendations to other stylists who are in a lower price range who I believe will take good care of you moving forward.
I love that. My last question, what are your thoughts on different pricing tiers for new and existing clients?
I have so many thoughts on this. Do we have time? Okay, I have a whole episode about this. So actually, if you're listening to this right now and you're curious about like my entire breakdown of new client pricing versus existing client pricing, I recommend that you check that episode out on the Modern Hairstylist Podcast. Here's my tea with new and existing client pricing. I understand that I'm a hairdresser, y'all. Like, don't forget, like I do hair just like you, right? I know that sometimes there are going to be circumstances in which you would like to have more time with a new client, right? Because you just don't know what you're getting yourself into. It might be like a just in case situation. But the more, if you are in a circumstance in which you are like yearning for clients, like if you are trying to fill gaps, like if you're trying to really build, right? Then I recommend not charging for more time that you may spend with new clients. That extra little amount of time that you may lose money on is something in which you need to look at as an investment. Because you don't have any clients in the first place. So if you are charging more, if you're creating a higher barrier to entry, and therefore that means that you're not going to get as many new client requests, it's not worth you charging more for a new client,
Right.
because you're just not going to have a new client in the first place, right? So I'd rather you make your barrier to entry lower so you can get new clients into the door, and then you look at that maybe extra 30 minutes that you have added on that you're not charging for as an investment in the long run, and hoping that in the assumption that new client is going to come back and see you more and more and more and offer you more value over their lifetime. If you have a steady foundation of clientele, if you're not like, oh my God, I need new clients in the chair, if it really truly makes sense for you, like if you're spending like 30 minutes or more, if there's a lot of different associated costs with having a new client in for the first time for whatever reason, okay, that's when we can justify it a little bit more. But at the end of the day, I'd rather you not. So it's like I have plenty of students who have new client pricing and existing client pricing, and it works just fine for them, and it is what it is, and I think it makes sense for them as well too.
Right.
I would rather you not. I'd rather you keep everything simple, one price across the board, figure out how you can systematize your client experience to be the same for new clients and existing clients, which we should kind of be doing anyway, right? Make sure your upfront communication is helpful in making it so you don't feel like you have to have an extra 15 to 30 minutes for a first time appointment, because you've already done all the upfront work and communication and understanding what this person needs. It just simplifies things.
Yeah.
And it makes the barrier to entry lower, allowing you to get more clients into the door.
I love that.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much. I feel like this episode is going to be really helpful for a lot of stylists. I feel like this is a very big and touchy subject, and
Girl,
you've simplified.
I could talk about pricing all day. I think it's a very difficult conversation. There's so many nuances to it, but and there's a lot of things to consider. But I think that what's most important is that you do get some personalized guidance, and that's why I really believe that there's no one size fits all with this. Like, what a pricing strategy that's going to work for this person in a small town in Tennessee is not going to work for the person in New York, even if you have the same specialty and the same clientele and the same numbers, right? Like, there's so many different nuances to consider. So if you're out there and you really want to understand if you want to understand your pricing as it is now and how that's affecting your business, if you want to understand what your pricing could be and how much you could afford to increase. And if you want to understand like your pricing structure and maybe rethink what that looks like I'd recommend, like, honestly, just check me out, girlfriend. Go to hunterdonia.com, because I love talking pricing. It's exciting to me, and there's a lot of strategy that goes behind it.
I love that.